G-Move, Wassa Wassa, today with a special episode from EthCC in Cannes 2025 with me, is Will, President of Move Industries.
What's going on, y'all? Thank you for having me, man. It's good to be here in Cannes, and thanks for doing this, man. First episode as president of the movement. It's pretty exciting.
As promised.
Yeah, man. Here we go.
Really glad to have you here today. And you last time we spoke was like half a year ago. You have been like the leading guy of the marketing team of the Movement Labs. Now you are president of Movement.
Yeah.
Can you give us some insights how the whole process went and why you decided to go all down to become president?
Yeah, of course, man. I think, first of all, thank you for having me. I think, look, myself and Tarab were the original builders of the movement, me from the community side, him from the ecosystem side. And I think, when all of this happened, it wasn't a decision that we made. It was a decision that was made by the community, by the builders, and by the team. And they asked us to step up. And, that comes with, great power comes with great responsibility. And I think I will be forever humbled and grateful for the opportunity to kind of see this new vision forward. We care very much about this movement, the builders, the community, the investors, the people. And, as a grassroots community organizer from the beginning of my career, the most important thing to me is systems that serve people. So to be able to be a shepherd of this new chapter is, it's an honor of a lifetime. And I'm grateful to, be talking to you about it, for the first time publicly.
So it's the first time, as you promised us, giving an interview in the public to the Movecast. So really appreciate
of course,
this.
Man.
As part of the community, of course.
Yes, sir.
We had today this great event on the EthCC, partnered by Google. So it was a pretty amazing event from my side. Really met a lot of people, also new people who might come to the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Can you share some of your thoughts today, your feelings which you had on the event?
Yeah, of course I can. I think, look, it is incredibly humbling, and I'm incredibly grateful for the fact that Google Cloud wants to partner with us, right? Like, one of the things that's always brought me a lot of joy is just seeing these incredible builders and these incredible entrepreneurs, seeing the vision and wanting to walk this path with us, this path of happy destiny that we're all on together. And I think this was a testament to that. We're in the south of France, we're building this vision together, and to have people like Google Cloud behind us and supporting us, and to have people like you showing up and be in solidarity with us and to continue doubling down and building together. It brings me a ton of joy. And, the people showed up today. There's people from all different parts of the industry. Folks stopped by that weren't even a part of it. And we, had them come in off the street of Cannes. And, someone who grew up in France, I'm incredibly humbled by this, getting to come home and, getting to bring the industry to France and, working with the builders here and working with Google Cloud to usher in this new chapter it's exciting, man.
Yeah, really exciting, and as I said, we really enjoyed the event today. And from my side, it was really great to see people coming up again, same as we already met last year. So it's pretty amazing to see those guys coming back again, to have part of the core community like the Guerrilla Movers here, stepping up and doing kind of development work for the movement. So yeah, I think we are still here. We can definitely say that.
100%.
And I would be interested, how do you see the state of the community so far? I mean, obviously we had some people leaving, which is I think quite normal after TGE and stuff and airdrops getting out. But maybe you can share your thoughts about the current state of the community.
Yeah. And
where we are maybe heading to.
Yeah, for sure. I think from my side, the way that I look at it is, and we've spoken about this before, right? Like, the job that I hold as the first community member and as kind of the architect of the community is, a great community is one where people can go and come as they choose, right? And while some people might have left, my job is to win them back. Yeah. Right? I've said this many times before. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. And like, my job is to show people through my actions, not through my words, what our plans are. And so I think the state of the community is wonderful. Like, there is a lot of, this was a very difficult time. I think like there's no understating how, we have been through something as a community that has been very I'm distraught about it, to say the least. But at the end of the day, like, we double down, we continue building. And I think one of the beauties of where we're at today is that the community that is here is stronger than ever. And I think one of the reasons for that is because we're building in public, right? We're putting out short-term roadmaps on the community side, on the ecosystem side, on the technical side. We're sharing our long-term vision with the community. We did a private Discord event where we walk through what our plans are that we're sharing with all the shareholders and all the stakeholders that are involved in the movement. That is what I always intended for the movement to be built upon, right? Radical transparency, a decentralized ethos that was built around people and systems that serve them. And so I think despite the severity of the situation, I think the community is stronger than it ever has been. And, we're going to continue to show through our actions, why the movement is the greatest community on earth.
Nice. I think what comes into mind to me is this concept of anti-fragility, which means like you can hurt something but it will like grow back again and get even stronger.
Yep.
So same as actually like if you train muscles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's still here the case, and because otherwise people would not be here still and keep building.
Yep.
Can you share maybe some of your like vision and plans for the community side? I mean, you are building on stuff like regional hubs and stuff. Maybe you can give us some more ideas, like what the community can be happy about.
Yeah, and I think, speaking to what you were just touching on briefly, like this idea of being like, it's a delicate balance, right? Where things like trust, which I think is one of the fundamental roots of a community, you can't ask for trust. You have to earn trust. And I think one of the most important things to me is like this action-led marketing is going to earn the trust back from the people that it was lost. And like I said, my job is to win back the people who have left us and to continue to show the people who are with us why they're sticking through. So, to your point, right, we're a 52 country-based community. We're across 5 different continents. Each of those regional communities is as important as the other. And so continuing to build upon those communities and providing them with resource and assistance so that they can build their own communities and their own movements is really important to me. Like when we first started the movement, the way that I looked at it is like we're building something that's bigger than all of us. And what that means to me is there's going to be individuals like yourself who are building their own businesses and their own brands, their own movements. And what a movement is to you is different than what a movement means to me. And what my job is to give you the resources and the availability of time and whatever it is that I can provide you so that you can take this in the direction that you believe it should be taken in, and that, Andy can take it in the direction that Andy wants to take it in, and Tarab can take it in the direction Tarab wants to take it in, and Leon can take it in the direction he wants to take it in. Shout out to the gorillas. Like there is no barrier to where the movement can go. And so that's the way that I look at the regional hubs. It's very much like build a global community, build a global movement in which there are micro movements that are self-autonomous. I guess that's just autonomous, but that they have the decision-making ability to do whatever they want to do. And we are a support system for their dreams and ambitions and self-actualization. I look at it like the Maslowian hierarchy of needs, right? We discussed this, the Muvlovian. And it's like, look, the base level is all humans share this triangle, right? The bottom is just the basic needs: community, safety, security, food, roof, shelter. But the top of the pyramid is self-actualization. And like the way that I look at what we're trying to achieve, and although it's quite audacious, how can we support people in what they are trying to achieve, how their own individual sense of self-actualization looks like? That inspires me and motivates me more than anything. And we've been seeing that. Like, if you look at people like Towels and how he's moved into this move position role, and how the gorillas have really bloomed into more than just a community, but like a business of their own, that to me wakes me up in the morning. Andy's a great example of this, right? Like a community member from the beginning. He's a core engineer of movement now. He is building his own version of this like self-actualization, and getting to watch him has been one of the greatest honors of my career. And we met through our first example of the regional hub, right? It was like, if you're in the community and you're participating, you get a meeting with me. At the time I was the head of marketing, and it led to him showing his strengths, and now he's helping develop the network. So that's really the way that I look at the hubs. And if you're interested in participating in them, and if you're interested in being part of this movement, please reach out, talk to your regional hub leader if there is one, and if there isn't, please reach out to us and help us set it up. We're in 52 countries now. I hope that we're in all of them at some point. Antarctica, we're coming for you. I'm trying to see us on every continent on Earth, and we're going to keep building, and we're going to keep amplifying the community, because that, at the end of the day, is the cornerstone of a movement. We can't do this without the community, and we wouldn't. And let's fucking move.
Let's fucking move, yeah. I think that's, you touch on many points which are showing that the movement is something like a global movement.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I would say the mix of like off-chain and on-chain world.
100%.
Yeah, building up regional hubs is obviously like an off-chain thing. But you guys also are building on different other stuff which are on for a longer time. Like I think about the guilds, for example. We had some new guilds coming up now. But I think in movement there's not only the possibility of being active in the guilds, right? We have a growing NFT ecosystem and stuff. And maybe you can share some of your ideas, visions, how we can make the NFT space grow, how we can also make the guilds maybe more active and stuff.
I love it. Well, so I'll take it a step back. For the people who aren't familiar with what we're talking about, the guilds is a community-based endeavor. So one of the ways that we build community with the movement is like, I want everyone to be represented. So if you're a builder, if you're a threader, if you're an artist, if you like memes, if you're just, a video game player, or if you're a game designer, whatever it is that you do, there is space for you. And so if you see that we don't have a guild that represents you, the guilds being like the way in which we embody this grassroots community organizing, then reach out again, right? Build your own guild. We have a number of them for now, but we're happy to expand if the need is there and the desire is there. So, how do we benefit those people? Well, one of them is the Parthenon, right? We have what I believe is a very interesting way of going about onboarding people to this industry is, we have a network that fundamentally is like the back end of our network, but then we have the Parthenon, which I see as the front end, and it's a way for people to play. At the end of the day, like I never want to let go of this like childlike wonder. I want people to be able to play on chain, and with that comes the ability to do off-chain work, because the same way that some people build, some people, their desire is to participate in an on-chain economy while remaining off-chain. Not everybody wants to use blockchains, and that's okay. Like, we want to make it so that everyone can be included, even the people that aren't really ready for the blockchain experience. And when they're ready, we welcome them with open arms, right? The gates of the garden will be fundamentally open forever to the movement. So, the Parthenon is one way that we plan on participating and benefiting the guilds and working with them. Another way is obviously the guilds themselves and continuing to iterate upon them. Another is the regional hubs. And then you made a great mention of like the NFT ecosystem. And, for folks that don't know, a non-fungible token can be anything from, from art to deeds. This is like RWA, I think is really blossoming in this area. And I think one of the things that we've really been aligned with championing is bringing art back on chain. And giving a place for creators and artists of all forms and fashions to participate in this on-chain economy and to access our community and to build their own communities within it. That's always been something that's been at the cornerstone of my own personal career. From working time at Sony to working in the TV and film industry to working in the ETH NFT scene in 2020 and 2021. Art has always been one of the kind of cornerstones of my personal ethos and community building, because artists are one of the most underserved communities on earth, right? It's a very difficult journey. It's one that's, marred by people being taken advantage of. And one thing that we're really focused on is making sure that people have access to the resource they need to be able to build their plot of land in the movement. So, art is at the center of this. So if you're an artist listening to this right now, there's place for you here. There's community for you here, and hold us accountable. If you don't see us doing it, let us know in whatever way you can. We're open to criticism, and we're here to build. And I don't know why this just crossed my mind, but I think one of the things that I've really appreciated recently is the community is holding us accountable. Like, we have calls with the gorillas frequently. We have a Discord AMAs, and the people let us know how they feel about what we're doing. And I encourage you to continue, right? If you like what we're doing, let us know. But if you see that we're not, living up to the standard that I'm setting out in interviews like this, like, please let me know. Be like, Will, you say you're for the artist, but the photographers aren't being seen, or the muralists aren't being recognized, or the musicians aren't there, and that's I'll internalize that and I'll work to make it happen. So NFTs are here, and art on chain is here to stay, and we're here to help facilitate it.
Amazing. Yeah, I think the guilds, and not only the guilds, but we saw a lot of stuff happening from the art side. Besides of arts, which maybe target audience you would see as well, maybe, I don't know, gaming, or maybe also institutions and stuff.
100%. Yeah, man, I think like one of the things that I'm really excited about with this now, like real recognition that this technology is here to stay, is the emergence of institutions on chain. With that comes global governments, right? And being a civil servant at heart, and coming from the community grassroots organizing, public service space, my time at the Senate and helping run Congress campaigns, and as a volunteer and assisting with other people's dreams in that capacity, I think that there's a really strong desire for the world to come on chain. And we've been talking about mass adoption for a long time in this industry, and I think more so now than ever that moment is happening. But with that moment comes, again, great responsibility, right? The way that we do this is very important. And for me, the way that I believe, is to let the people dictate the course of future for themselves, right? Like, I am just a conduit. I am in no means going to be the person that brings the masses on chain. I'm just going to provide them an avenue, and they're going to run with it the way that they want to. I think that's the best thing that we can do. So, going back to your question about NFTs and gaming and institutions and governments, we're going to show them the community is here, the movement is here, right? This is what it looks like. On paper, on chain, this is what we're doing. And all these different ways are the ways that you can participate. If you see a way that you'd like to, jump in, the water's warm, hop in. We're here to receive you. If you're not seeing it, that's where we can really assist, because if we're leaving someone out, I truly believe in a world, like, I love when I go outside and I see the diversity of Earth, right? All the diversity of thought, the diversity of culture, the diversity of nature. I want to see that on chain. And I think one thing that us as an industry should really incentivize is like outside the box thinking. Like, what are you curious about building that you don't see? Bring that to the movement. And if you don't see it in the movement, tell me, hey, Will, I don't see this yet. And then we'll help you do it. That shit wakes me up in the morning. I know I'm giving you a roundabout answer, but if that makes any sense, we're here to help anybody that wants to build in any way they want to build, from every side of the stack.
Yeah, great. And I think you, as an older marketing expert, are, I think, probably the best choice to design the marketing strategy and incentivize kind of people to get there. And I mean, incentives are, we had this topic already with different people on the pod, but I mean, there are different kind of incentives, obviously, financial ones.
Yep.
I think that's probably maybe part of Parthenon, I don't know, or might be combined, I don't know. But which kind of other incentives we can give to people? I mean, community is obviously one big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you help also other builders, other projects, same as you do with the guilds, for example?
I think the most beautiful part about this industry is this aspect of incentivization, right? If you look at the way that the internet has progressed, and just businesses online in general, like Web 2 is very incentivized for the builder, right? For example, I'll use Instagram as an example, right? Like when you post on Instagram, that data, your personality, your brand, in many ways is owned by the server, it's owned by the application, right? The incentives are very skewed, and power to them. They made a lot of money, and I'm happy for them. But as somebody who's fundamentally rooted in self-sovereignty and the people, that incentivization is very skewed towards one person versus the masses. What I really am excited about with Web3 and this kind of move into, user ownership instead of like, server ownership in Arizona, right? Like where these massive data servers are, is that like the people are going to be in charge. And so, yeah, the incentives, I think the beauty of this industry are going to span across every sector, right? Financial incentives, community incentives, people, for example, like let's say that someone wants to access your data or they want you to participate on chain. They're going to incentivize you to do so. The users are going to be in control. And the community is in control of the movement. Like that is always going to be at the cornerstone of it. And if we're not creating that incentive to participate, then we're not doing our jobs, right? As an industry. And I think that's the thing that wakes me up the most in the morning about this industry, right? Is that it puts the power back in the hands of the people. And I don't know about you, but I've never seen that in my lifetime, right? Where I live in a very, democratic nation, but we have work to do there. And I think the freedom that comes on chain in a free market is something that will drastically shift the way that we as humans interact with one another in the future. And I think it's going to be better for everyone. There's a bit of a learning curve, and there's a bit of a difficulty in figuring out what the balance is of those incentives and the balance of what a free market can really look like. And we deal with that with, security concerns and obviously malicious actors, but we self-regulate like a body does, right? Like I look at the Web3 industry as being somewhat of like it's an autonomous being, and you have like white blood cells that fight against the disease, and there's this supercomputer that exists within us. And I'm paraphrasing, I'm getting way off topic right now, but I look at it as being that way, where we're this global, decentralized community that exists across all chains, and all chains are going to have to come together in this way and realize like, the people are at the center of all of this, and we have to make sure that they're treated well. And the people that are doing the best are the people who realize this, right?
Yeah, right. And you were talking much about like the free markets and the autonomous way of blockchains. Mm-hmm. But what would you say is like what distincts maybe movement from other chains as Ethereum maybe, but also maybe from other move-specific chains like Sui and Aptos? I mean, I know you are not like the techie guy, but yeah, what is your view on that?
I think it's funny because I think that is one of our main differences, right? Like I don't come from a technical background. I love this industry and I'm fascinated by the tech, but these hands don't code. God did not bless me with the mind for development. But I think that's what kind of separates us a little bit, right? Is that this industry is available to everyone. You don't have to be Vitalik, right? You don't have to be a gigabrain Chad that can develop like the world's most incredible and important technology. But you can participate in it because that's the beauty of open source, right? That's the beauty of things like vibe coding. Now people are able to participate. And I don't want to, in no way am I trying to say that the developers aren't incredibly necessary, right? Like somebody had to create vibe coding. Vitalik had to create Ethereum, right? It's like that old quote, if I appear great, I stand on the shoulders of giants. I wouldn't be able to do this without the developers. So I say all this to say, like, what separates movement from everybody else is that we're fundamentally, at our core, rooted in people, and that transcends the tech. I mean, a lot of what me and you have talked about today is off-chain. My brain is not purely focused on math, right? It's focused on human beings. And I think that's a big difference. And I don't mean to say in any way that those people aren't as well. I'm sure they are. But I'm a civil servant at heart. I'm a man of the earth. And the most important thing for me is not, if the math is mathing, it's if the people are happy. And if the people are happy, then I'm doing a great job. And, I think that separates us. I mean, I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, I love those companies and I wish them all the best. I'm a really big believer in collaboration over competition. So I'm being very delicate in the way that I answer this because I in no way want to throw shade at anyone. I think that we as a society have had so much problems created by otherism and divisiveness and difference, right? And I look for the similarities. And what I see in the similarities that bring all of us together is that Ethereum and Aptos and Sui and Movement, Solana, and all these other great projects is that we are trying to create systems that serve people for one way or another. We might have different motives, but we're all trying to build different systems that serve people. And so, like, I wish all of them the success in the world. Anybody who's building in this business, if you're building on Movement or if you're building somewhere else, like, God bless you, keep cooking, and let me know if I can help. So I guess that's a way to answer your question.
Yeah, I really liked your answer, actually. I really liked it. And I think you pointed out, from my perspective, you pointed out two important things. One is that you don't want to, obviously there's competition, but I think it's how much value you give to competition. 100%. So you can, you have competitors, but you don't have to fight against them, but you can fight with them, probably.
Yep. Yeah.
I think Colin was telling, or was naming it like growing the pie bigger.
Yep. No question, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think, the second point is, it depends in the end, like how you want to use the chain. And I think there are different chains, they have different aims, they have different also target audiences.
Yep.
So, maybe some chain is better for institutionals, maybe another one is better for, I don't know, some NFT specific stuff. Right. But I think in the end, and I think history shows this as well, is it's not always the product winning which has like the highest tech, but it's like why people use it and how much they use it.
That's right.
And I think you will have like different perspectives which make it maybe more valuable to be on Movement than on some other chain.
That's right. And I think, like, to your point, right, it's like, how are you using it? Like, we're going to have an internet of blockchains, right? I think that's been one of the, big fights was people trying to be dominant and wanting it to be their chain. I don't think that's going to be how the future plays out. I think there's going to be hundreds of different apps running on tens of different chains, and one day all of them will be interoperable with one another, and you'll be able to move across them and use them all for different reasons, to your point. And that's a beautiful thing. That's why I don't look at any of these people as being competition. You're closing the park? No. Okay, well, we're gonna, merci monsieur, bonne soirée. So I think that's the kind of beauty of the situation that we're in, is that, we're all in this together. I think it was Vitalik that I heard say it so eloquently, where somebody was asking him, like, are you in competition with Solana? He's like, I'm not in competition with anyone in Web3. We're in competition together against the outdated systems of centralization. And I was literally cheering through the screen. I'm like, that's my fucking guy. Like, those are the shoulders that I stand upon. That's the reason I got into this industry, because, we're here to address bigger problems than, whose chain is better than whose. It's, how can we serve people best? And there's going to be new problems that arise as we move into this more and more digital world, and AI becomes more intelligent, and the agenetic swarms start to, like, run the world. Like, we're going to have new situations to deal with, and there's going to be new builders who are addressing problems that don't even exist today. And I hope that we can build an environment for them on Movement, and that we can support them regardless of where they choose to build, that we can amplify them, because that's what a movement's all about,
Amazing. Yeah, I think before we get thrown out of the park here, maybe a message to, like, our most loyal listeners. I think most of them will be on the Gorilla Movers side. Do you have something you want to share, I don't know, with the Gorilla Movers, but also maybe to the broader movement community as well?
Yeah, I think, first of all, thank you to everybody that's listening to this right now. I think the most important thing that I can say is believe in yourself. You're incredible. I love you and I appreciate you, and you can achieve anything you set your mind to. And I will be here working from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep to make an environment that you can pursue your dreams and your own version of what that looks like, without maybe even ever meeting me. I hope that I can live up to the task in front of me, and that I can build something that's greater than myself through this movement with all of you, and that, this is a trial that includes all of us, and so I look to you for help. I need your help, and I look forward to, proving the haters wrong as well, and I'll speak to you all. Let us cook, and it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. So I say all this to say, I'm gonna work my absolute hardest to show you all how much I care about you, how much when I say I love you, I really mean it, even if we never meet. I'm looking at you through a digital screen, telling you you're the most wonderful creation of Earth, and you can achieve anything you set your mind to. So to the gorillas, to the movement, to mom and dad, I love you all, and let's fucking move.
Let's cook. Let's fucking move. Thank you, Will, for being here today.
I appreciate you.
On EthCC, Cannes 2025.
Let me say something to you. Thank you for being a member of this community and for giving me the opportunity to speak my mind. You didn't have to do it, and I really appreciate you, man. What you do for this community is incredible. And if anybody hasn't heard of the Movecast, I hope that somehow your algorithm reaches you, and subscribe, like, comment. Make sure that you give this man some love, because he's doing this for the free 99. So. Help a content creator out. Make sure you show him some love. Share this around. Send it out to anybody. Even if you want to hate on me in the comments, that's gonna get him some attention. So But dude, thank you, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. And thank you to everybody in the movement community. Let's keep it going, y'all. We got hella plans. What a life. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Thank you, Will.